Welcome back to the Who's at the Gates podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and we are recording on an early Sunday morning to get up Friday's episode. And if I can get this frog out my throat, to get up Friday's episode for Monday, because we want to make sure we bring you the coverage of the amazing soap opera and a lot of things going on in this. And to discuss this, as usual, I have with me the celestial Diana. So, Diana, do you have anything to say before we get into the first scene?
Yes, you're gonna have to do a lot of explaining for me to prep for next week's episodes, next week's extravaganza, next week's everything. So maybe we can start with that.
Okay. So this first scene is very short. It's with Victor and Vernon. Two V's. I just called that both their names start with V's right now. So yeah, Victor and Vernon are having a discussion about Victor showing up. So let's go ahead and get into the scene and then we can discuss.
Victor, I can't thank you enough. Your willingness to make room in your busy schedule means the world, truly.
And Vernon, you know that I've always respected the hell out of you. And respect your politics, and the fact that you always put family first.
That's something we have in common.
Yeah, we do. And the scars to prove it.
I look forward to catching up when you get here. Safe travels.
Looking forward to it, Vernon.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, just an old friend.
Oh, no. The last time you were all cryptic, our daughters convinced themselves that you were sneaking around with another woman.
And I was. My vocal coach. And we made beautiful music together.
Only so you could come and make beautiful music for me.
Are you requesting an encore?
No, don't think you can charm your way out of this one. Now, before you get carried away, I want to know exactly what's going on.
The Mathesons at table 3.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I was just to say it. So you were really, really excited when this came on. And, you know, can you just help me? Can you just help me? Who is this man?
Okay. So for those who do not know, Victor Newman is a character on the iconic Young and the Restless. The Young and the Restless has been on for a very, very long time. And my mother would watch Young and the Restless. Everybody watched Young and the Restless, even if they were regular watchers or sometime watchers. I had watched like a couple of episodes, but I wasn't a regular watcher. But even for people who aren't regular watchers, even people who probably have never really watched Young and Restless at all, there are still people who know the name Victor Newman because that's how iconic this character is on that show. He is a multi-billionaire, is what he is. And he has his company, and he's gotten into knockdown dragouts with other people. He's been seen as the villain on plenty of occasions, and sometimes the hero or anti-hero, I guess you could say, in other occasions. One of the most memorable things with me, which I didn't remember the details of it, but I knew what had happened, so I had to look up the details, is when his daughter Victoria was affected by the Abbott. You remember the Abbotts, which Martin is friends with. In the Abbotts, and you'll see that in the next scene. I think they cover that part. If they don't, then whatever. But the Abbotts and the Newmans don't get along. And one of the reasons is because they did an expose on Victor, like an unauthorized biography, basically trashing him. And the effects of that spilled over and affected his daughter, Victoria. So it caused like a medical situation, a whole bunch of other stuff. I think it was Jake, if I'm not mistaken, had helped Victoria with the issue, but Victor was still pissed. And what he did, because the Abbotts own the cosmetics company, Victor went in and took over the cosmetics company. He bought up the shares and took control from Jake, I think it was, and then fired him from his company, is what it happens. He just took it over. And he's done things like that throughout the Young and the Restless era, where he's either taken over companies or he's, just done things to get people out of his way. He's a very, very tough and most of the time, cold businessman. Victor does not play. And this actor has been playing Victor since 1980. So we're at 46 years that he's been playing Victor Newman. So that's why when people say Victor Newman, it's like, oh, it's Victor type of energy. That's why. And how him and Vernon know each other, I'm glad they gave the background, which is interesting. I would have liked something else a little more, I don't know, I don't want to say shady or whatever, but something that you raise the eyebrow a little bit. Not, oh, he funded my campaign because I was a startup in civil rights and this and that. I'm like, okay, that's cute, but I wanted something a little bit darker. But that's just me. What about you?
I mean, it just seems very conflicting because so you're saying he's not necessarily a villain, right? He's
right. People don't get it twisted. There are plenty of people who look at Victor as a villain. I'm just saying that's not all he is. He's not a Leslie.
Okay. He's not Haley, he's not a Leslie, he's not a
right.
Okay. And then Paler.
He's done some foul stuff. Like I said, don't get it twisted. He's done some foul stuff. But he's on a different level.
Okay. If anyone with knowledge can correct KC in case his bias is showing. We all know he has a bias towards certain people. No, it's just joking. Yeah, I mean, I welcome any knowledge that I should have before, next week's episodes. I mean, I think we'll upload this on Monday, so it'll just be in time for me to watch this, and to look at everyone's comments because I'm very much a newbie in the soap world, which. Don't hate on me, please. I love. I mean, love Beyond the Gates.
We all are. It's one of those things where we watch what we could when we were younger, and for some of us like me, the only reason I was even introduced to soaps was because my mother watched them, and they were around. So it's just kind of like. But I told you, her show was Another World. That was her show. So yeah. And also All My Children, because I said it was Santa Barbara. She's like, yeah, but really I watched All My Children more than Santa Barbara. I'm like, oh, okay. So, all right. Let's go ahead and get to this next scene with Martin and the assistant that I don't remember being on camera before. So, yeah, I was thinking this was the first time, maybe, but.
Yeah, another thing we have to crowdsource. I remember her. But if y'all think this is her first time,
the
please
Matheson's
let
at
us
table
know.
3, Wolf's at 6.
Well, we're about to see because I'm just
confirm.
Anita just locked him in.
I guess he's not holding a grudge about his failed attempt to add her to his label.
And he's bringing his wife Abby, so there's room at table 5.
Oh, Shonda, I almost forgot. Is there room for my buddy Kyle Abbott?
Of the Abbott Empire?
Yeah, we got tight back when he was living in New York and I was interning at the National Urban League. Good old Kyle convinced his parents to come with him, Jack and Diane.
Seems we'll have a decent-sized Genoa City contingency. Big money, serious influence.
Maybe we should move them to the front.
Ooh, will do.
Just in time. Take a look at this.
Ah, still playing musical chairs with the seating chart?
Draft 5 and counting.
And with my poll numbers stalled, I need this fundraiser to go well. No room for mistakes.
Oh, well, I see one already.
Where?
If Vernon succeeds in getting Victor Newman, you cannot, and I repeat, cannot sit him next to Jack Abbott.
Sorry, Shonda. I forgot to mention that.
Crisis averted. Last thing we need is a couple of prime donors coming to blows.
You should read Victor's bio. Ruthless. There's an entire chapter dedicated to the feud. That and another tidbit or two.
Considering our time crunch, mind giving me the cliff notes?
Better yet, how about you use that beautiful brain of yours and help us out on this?
I would, but I'm still on deadline. I don't have 10 spare brain cells, let alone 10 spare minutes. But you will do great on your own.
Extra security in place.
I put eyes on every entrance, every exit, every blind spot. I turned your casino into a damn fortress.
Good. After what went down in that warehouse, the man we know is chaotic and dangerous. I'm not taking any.
Okay, I'll let that play a little bit longer than I wanted to. But I was formulating my thought process for this scene that just happened. And yeah, I do not remember seeing this lady.
Okay, well, I just Googled, and the first post that I saw was like a fan page saying, "Welcome back." Welcome back.
Hoppo, who this woman?
Yeah, I guess
you have so many episodes.
I could have sworn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, her name is Dontavia Marrero, so it's like we've seen her before. So welcome back.
Okay. Yeah, great. And she's doing a wonderful job. I'm just more concerned about Martin and Smitty again. I feel another road bump coming because Smitty, you neglecting your man. And I'm just saying, when people neglect their man, if a man has resources, things happen. So I need Smitty to get it together.
I really hope they don't go down like a cheating scandal with this couple. I don't know, it just feels like it would be forced because I think Smitty's doing the most with his dang laptop and his notepad being like, I have to get this in. Like, realistically, how much can you stretch what happened into 4 articles? Like, y'all just met in a hotel room or an apartment complex. Like,
no,
and
now, first
nothing.
of all, Diana, you're not being fair. First of all, they did not just meet in a hotel room. Smitty also broke into Nicole's office or whatever, and then started stealing information and everything.
You know what?
They didn't just meet in a hotel room.
You're right. He did do a lot more than Jacob. That is correct. If that's what you're saying, I can't disagree. He took more risks. You're right. Okay, but I don't think he can write that in the news article. He got hurt by scissors.
And don't forget, and Smitty interviewed Shanice, and he interviewed Ted. Huh. Smitty did that too.
Okay. Not sure how he's gonna fit that into this article, but again, not sure why it needs, what was it, like 4 separate articles. Again, he's just doing the most on this, but lots of love to this relationship. I hope it works.
I do too, because I like them together. They definitely balance each other out because they are opposites on a few things.
Mm-hmm.
I just need for Smitty to, it's like, I understand you want your career back. You're riding on a high right now because you were part of this big plasma ring bust that basically stopped the entire crime organization in the DMV and possibly the United States as well. Like, I get it. Obviously, I'm a little bit tongue-in-cheek as I'm saying this. But
I was like, wait, did he? I'm like scratching my head too. I'm like, wait, what? So did we watch the same show?
But even though you are riding this high, you still need to take care of home. And that's one of the things, like, I understand when people are pursuing careers, whether you are male, whether you are female, with sacrificing. Yes, you have to sacrifice. You can't get anything without sacrifice. That's just what it is. At the same time, you have to be mindful when you're in a relationship. And I believe that just like, and this isn't one way, because with Martin and his shenanigans that he was doing, and Martin paid for it, where he wasn't giving the marriage, I need to stop saying relationship because they're married. He wasn't giving the marriage the attention that it deserved. So it was like, and Smitty called him out on it. I need Smitty to remember that. Like, it's like, okay, let me make sure I'm still holding up my end of the vows and stuff. So that's just where I was at. But did you have anything else on?
No, I mean, I think you're right. It's a weird energy right now for both of them. Both a very busy time in both of their lives. I mean, running a campaign is not easy, I'm assuming. I mean, so again, good luck to both of them.
All righty, let's go ahead and skip. Oh yeah, we were supposed to do a steal on this. I guess I don't. First of all,
We were.
we are seeing them a lot in bed lately. And I understand you make enough for lost time, but if Naomi gets pregnant, then what?
What lost time? They were together pretty much every night that he was on his undercover mission. Tell me what lost time. I don't understand. And I think they made a comment, right? Like right when this happened, like, oh, I missed this again. And it's just like, what? You were texting each other every day. I don't understand this.
Okay. I guess
He was down the
is,
street. I'm so mad.
I guess the in-person talks, they didn't have enough of those where it was like, oh, I want to go bring him a coffee at work, or where they couldn't do those types of things. And now that they're physically in proximity with each other again, and he's not tied to his undercover character or whatever you want to call it, then it's like, okay, let's just take advantage of all this now. My worry is that Naomi will get pregnant and then she will have an abortion without telling him. And then he finds out later and then they end up getting divorced. That's where I'm kind of at on things.
I don't think you'd go down that kind of storyline, to be honest. I could see why you'd think that, because she hasn't been honest about like literally anything thus far. But it just seems like they kind of forgot about all that. It's now the focus is on his, what I guess it is technically PTSD. He has PTSD from all this. Yeah, I have nothing for these people.
Yeah, I honestly don't really either, but because that baby was such a huge deal, and I'm not putting it past that situation to happen, or either maybe not getting divorced, but it just really, really disrupts the marriage. So type thing, because some things we've been right, because I went back and looked over some things. I actually was looking on the app we use to cut up our stuff, so with the shorts and everything, which by the way, people, I will eventually be doing shorts again. I'm just trying to get some stuff together. But one of the old ones I was looking at that I didn't really post on the channel, it was when Isaiah and Eva and Leslie and all this stuff, and you and I were talking about that whole dinner, and I was telling you, like, I think Isaiah is all in, but he kind of knows what he's getting, and he's realizing that for the Mother's Day and the Thanksgivings and the Christmases and everything else, if Leslie and Darlene get together, it's going to be the fighting and so on and so forth. And sure enough, with Jacob's event that Leslie and Darlene attend, it's that fighting. And I predicted that. The thing with Chessie, I told you, Samantha and Chessie might end up becoming friends and stuff. And sure enough, in one of the most recent episodes, they're saying, oh, it was they had a detente or whatever. So now Samantha and Chessie are somewhat cool. I'm not putting it past Naomi to get pregnant and have an abortion without telling Jacob, because that seems like something she would do. Because she's been so secretive about this BRCA gene and just other things. Mind you, she was dealing with all of this turmoil internally while Jacob was undercover, and did not tell anyone except Ashley. And I feel like the only reason she had to tell Ashley was because of Grayson. So yeah, I mean, did you have anything before we move on?
No.
Okay. Diana's like, I'm over it.
I just, get these people off my screen.
Let's see. Okay, there was... Okay, because the Grayson, I'm not even going to do a steal on Grayson and Ashley. We don't care. And for those who do, God bless. Yeah, this is in the 16th. This is where Naomi whacks Ashley, as she should. Hold on. Let me do this. And we'll check the Vanessa stuff a little bit later. There is a scene that we do want to do, or that I want to do, because I know, Diana, you're probably low-key over Vanessa.
I mean, who isn't at this point? Like, just tell me.
Okay.
You know what
we
I'm
got the
not.
product.
You know what I'm not over? Yes, exactly. My clothes smelling fresh and clean thanks to Tide. Can never go. Oh, can never get over that.
We have the product placement. Tide, the detergent of all detergents. Definitely
The one
it's
and
what you want to
only.
use for your laundry. They also have the Tide Pods, which is mentioned there. Procter & Gamble, please cut the check. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get into the scene with Naomi and Ashley.
I could with the information I had at the time.
And with what you know now?
It changes nothing. Grayson told worse lies than Derek. Derek helped people. Grayson committed crimes.
Grayson, motivated by trying to provide for his mother, was dragged unwittingly into a criminal enterprise. He never set out to commit crimes. He was blackmailed into following Leah's orders.
So that justifies him keeping me in the dark.
No, but he owned it, okay? And he risked his life too. From what Jacob told me, Grayson had his back when he needed it.
Okay,
and that has to count for something.
You're completely missing the point.
Ashley, they both lied. Derek faked his recovery to make sure you married him.
Yes, and that was wrong. But I was a mess too. I didn't know what I wanted, and I just kept putting him through the ringer while I tried to figure it out. I was too hard on him.
You wouldn't be saying that if he survived.
You know, I cannot believe that you would judge a dead man. Derek died a hero. And he did it trying to save your husband's life.
Diana, I know you're itching.
Come through criminal defense. You know, I will be the first to say I had my doubts that Naomi was even a lawyer, right? I just saw her at Orphe Jeans every day, just spending the whole morning there with just like a thin folder. I had my doubts. But this line of questioning, she did her research.
A good shot of them, but I'll just leave it on Ashley because we don't really give her that much screen time anyway. So I'll leave this still on her just to give her her moment. Yeah.
I mean, that was a very pointed question, which was, you wouldn't be feeling this way if he was still alive, which is true, right? Like, you can rewrite history all you want and then like just conveniently forget that you hated him for the longest time because he lied to you about not being able to walk. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, you can't rewrite history. People are always going to remember.
Well, for me, I enjoyed Naomi whacking her for multiple reasons. The first reason is I'm like, Ashley, you need to go talk to somebody, but not Naomi. You need to go talk to a professional and figure out why your guilt is so strong over Derek. Because if we're being completely honest, if Derek was that great, you would have married him. If Derek was that great, you wouldn't have even considered going out with Andre. If Derek was that great, you wouldn't have dealt with Grayson. If Derek was that great, Grayson wouldn't still be on your mind. So why are we here? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You need to get it together and figure out what you want to do. Because we're over it. That's where I'm at. Like, Derek's dead. He's not coming back, hopefully. And this is just what it is. So I'm just like, I understand people process grief differently. What's irritating me with her is that she's dragging everybody else into it.
God, do you remember there was like one episode where like 5 people visited her? Like, we didn't need that. I mean, this is the thing, right? Is that she can act all she wants about how she like loved Derek, and I think she did. I'm not saying that, but all this like putting him on a pedestal is like now low-key ridiculous, because I remember the episode where she was mad at how he cleaned her refrigerator. Like, she just like, they're better off as friends. The chair. They were better off as friends and as a couple, and that's fine. Or a situation, right, where we've talked about it, like maybe Ashley is one of those people where she's better off living alone, right? She likes her space. She likes things very particular. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's like maybe get a 2-bedroom apartment. Maybe get 2 houses, right, next door to each other, and just live your separate but very close lives. I wouldn't be mad at
That's how
that.
it should be anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't be. Yeah, I wouldn't judge. I'd be like, that's probably the ideal situation. But yeah, all this is just like so ridiculous. Her trying to change history on how she felt towards Derek.
Oh boy, it's just a lot. And now I'm thinking, Mercury retrograde is approaching, and it's already got me in my feels. Yeah, I'm over it. You're over it. We're over it. Let's just move on to the next thing. Okay. Do we? You know what? Let's just do a still. Hold on. Where in the hell is it at? Okay. Wait. There we go. All right. I'm trying to get it with both of them in the picture. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, the Jacob and Smitty thing where he's like, oh, Smitty, can you print a fake article and basically antagonize the Impaler because the Impaler has an ego and this will get the Impaler to show who they are or to slip up or do something. Another thing, I'm holding up a sign. Why are we here?
I mean, this is the best we got. This is this is our best police force. Smitty and Rashad. I mean, this is who we have. I don't expect anything else. Don't expect any actual detective work or crime solving.
Yeah, and
crime stopping.
Integrity. And I'm just like, sir, you did break into Nicole's laptop. Like, I can't do that article because of my integrity. Like, sir, doing a fake article or a semi, because all of it wouldn't be fake, but a semi-fake article compared to breaking into a hospital looking through medical information, there's federal laws for that.
And that also, you just reminded me, because he gave Kat this whole, I have a profession, we have obligations or whatever, right? When she was talking about her podcast, and he's just like, you can't just do this. Well, apparently you can. So
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, okay, I guess. And I'm just irritated that out of all the ideas to catch the Impaler, you weren't like, you know what? Let me see if I can use some more resources and build some relationships with people at the FBI. You weren't like, let me see if I can do some medical research on plasma rings and see if any other plasma rings exist, because if they do, that means they're competition possibly to the Impaler, or they might be a supplier for each other from time to time. Who knows? Let me see if I can find some other plasma rings or through my connections throughout the US and see what I can find on that. And the list goes on and on of ample ways to investigate the plasma ring. But his bright idea is like, oh, let's get to his ego and get him to reveal himself that way. I guess. So
that's what it boils down to. That's what it boils down to, I guess.
Okay. On to the next thing. That was a cute little conversation. I low-key kind of want to play it, but I'm just like, okay, we're skipping through Vanessa and Joey. There's the whole Ashley and Naomi. I can't believe they were still talking. Okay, here we go. This one I do want to cover because I want to bring up something. This conversation with Vanessa and Randy. Because there was something that I caught and I was like, oh, I didn't know that. All right, let's just play it from here.
Oh, security is right outside the door. You don't need to guard me like you're trying to block a three-pointer.
I do what Joey tells me to do. And right now he needs me to make sure you stay put.
Let me remind you, we go back further than either of us do with Joey. I know how much your friendship with Doug meant to him. You were the connection to his youth.
You know, I was so damn proud when he moved here from Philly. I just knew Doug was gonna make something of himself and not be stuck in the hood like the rest of us.
He felt like he had to suppress that side of him when he moved behind the gates, but when you showed up, it was like he could be himself again.
You know, Vanessa, I honestly thought you didn't approve of me back then.
I didn't. But I had blinders on. Doug needed a friend like you, Randy. You were good for him. And loyal.
Loyal. Well, loyalty is why I'm not letting you out of here, Vanessa.
Well, one of us needs to have Joey's back.
Letting Vanessa in was a big mistake.
Sorry, B. One of the guys was out of position.
See, now this man, I'm like, have we seen him before? But anyways.
No, I don't remember him, and he'd be fired if I were chief of staff anyway, but keep going, Dan.
No, so what about the scene caught your attention?
There's two things. First thing is that I did not know, or I totally forgot. I knew Doug and Randy knew each other. I didn't know they were both from Philadelphia. I totally, like, if I knew it, I totally forgot it. And when he said, oh, and then Vanessa's like, yeah, you're good for him, reminding him of this and that. I'm like, oh, they must have really been close in Philly. So then that leads to my next question. Why didn't Doug know Haley? That's what I don't understand. Because Haley's from Philly too, and Haley's from the hood. So if all three of them are from the hood, everyone knows each other. Why didn't Doug know Haley?
That's a very good question. Because I vaguely recall that they did know each other, right? Because that's kind of also why, like, Doug stuck his neck out for him. You know, how, like, Randy should not be here with us in this living world. I can't remember what it was. Oh, he didn't murder someone. That's what it was.
Right. And that's why the jury is still out on Doug being dead, because I do believe there is a possibility Randy cut some type of deal with Marcel to fake Doug's death. And that, because Randy doesn't seem like the type that can really do that. That's why I don't think Lynette's dead. I don't think Lynette's dead.
Yeah, I don't think she's gone either. But you're right. The whole Haley situation is a little suspicious, because I was about to say, like, I mean, was he like actively involved in that whole storyline? But it's like, they're all members of the same country club, you know, like Bill.
Yeah, Vanessa, Doug, Danny.
Right.
Yeah, Haley.
They all run in the same circles now, so it's not like he could have missed it. But you're totally right. He would have known, like, hey, isn't that your cousin?
Thank you. So I'm just like, as soon as Vanessa was saying, I'm like, wait a minute, they were like that in Philly? Well, then they should know Haley then.
Right. If anyone knows.
Haley was that cousin that only visited Philly in the summers, I don't know. Or whatever, but I don't think that's the case. Like, they're saying that Philly was her hometown. Her family's there. She doesn't like to talk about it, clearly, because of the way she exploded at Bill when he started asking questions about Philly. But they should know each other. They all grew up in the same hood.
Right. And it's not even like a situation where Doug knew Randy like at a later point in his life. No, because he would have already been here. He's just like very specifically like, I'm glad he made it out. You know, like, I saw him grow up and get out. Because that also made me question. I'm just like, wait, what's the age gap here? What's the age difference? I always considered Randy maybe like 10 years younger, but who knows?
Yeah, and the other thing was with Vanessa talking about loyalty. And I believe that part hit Randy a little bit because Randy did betray Doug. And that, I think that's eating at him a little bit too.
Probably. I mean, he has not been the best employee. I'll say that.
Oh, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Because we could rag on Randy all day long.
We can't. I mean, he just leaves his post, does not finish his work. Will take
Getting
lunch
turkey wrapped.
wherever.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. There isn't. Do we? Okay, I guess we can. Let's just do a steal on this one, or maybe. Let me see how long it is. 27:46. She sees him. It goes to. Okay, that's not too bad. Fine, we'll just play it. At this. Okay, wait a minute. Come up a little bit more. All right, that's fine.
She kick you out too?
No. I left on my own. Ashley's got a lot on her mind.
I wasn't trying to pressure her, if that's what she thought. I couldn't leave there without trying to make things right.
Grayson, Ashley has a lot of issues with you. But if you want the truth, she's got even more with herself, so just be patient.
You actually think we still have a shot?
All I can say is that Ashley and Jacob are grappling with survivor's guilt, and unfortunately, it is coloring every decision they make.
I have a small problem with this, just a small one. I don't feel it was Naomi's place to tell him that or to encourage him to hang in there. Like, even if she likes him, I don't really think she should have said anything to him. I think she just should have let it play out with doing that, or flip a coin. So, because that's been my thing lately. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's why give him this hope and things, like, just let Ashley process or grieve. Like, I think she asked very pointed questions and made Ashley like rethink, but I don't know if I would go out of my way to reach out to Grayson and be like, it's all gonna be okay. Like, girl, focus on your own life, focus on your own health. I don't know why. Maybe she's the fixer. Maybe maybe that's what's going on. But yeah, this weird sort of like buddy situation that she like has going on with him, don't necessarily care for it. Not that I think anything is like that she's doing anything nefarious. I just you have a lot more things to focus on.
Exactly. And that's where I'm at. Even though I think low-key she does want to befriend Grayson, because again, don't forget, Naomi's a do-gooder. And Grayson getting caught up because he wanted to help his mother and take care of his mother, that will pull at Naomi's heartstrings.
It will pull at Ashley's too. I mean, it literally did pull at Ashley's heartstrings. So that's why it was a good reminder for her. It's not just, I think they're both very similar. I don't know, maybe Naomi is just like thinking ahead and being like, well, who am I gonna have like date night with? Double dates. Now that Derek's not here.
I was low-key thinking date nights in my head. You said it out loud, and I appreciate you for that. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with this friendship. I do think they could get along very well, but I feel like they both need to focus on other things right now. Like, dude, you turned down the thing from which I don't know if you caught that too, where it's not in this, I think it's in another part later or whatever. But he turned down the offer from Leslie because he felt guilty about Derek, like he felt he would be taking Derek's life. And I'm like, dude, Derek is not paying your Spectrum bill every month. Is like you're responsible for that bill. Derek's not paying your light bill. Derek's not paying for your groceries. You have to take care of you. And I promise you, knowing Derek the way I know Derek, if the shoe was on the other foot, Derek wouldn't even think about it. He'd have his ass in there collecting a check. But let's keep it 100.
I think he'd be in there, but then he'd be like feel guilty and drag that on about how he shouldn't be there while collecting the check. Yeah.
No, Derek would not feel guilty at all. Derek would just be like, "Thank you," and that's it. Like, Grayson, man, I'm feel bad that happened to you, but oh well. You in a better place now that don't have bills. I got to pay mine, and that's what he gonna do. So,
hey y'all, so if something happens to me, if I'm not on the show, just know Casey did not wait a second.
Our relationship is different, Diana, because Derek and Grayson don't get along. That was the whole thing. That's when, like, Derek's not gonna care. Derek is very self-centered. Even though it's like, oh, he runs in and saves people, and Derek does this and Derek does that for people. First of all, Derek is different compared to Grayson. Grayson genuinely is looking to help people. I've never really bought this whole thing with Derek. Like, oh, he's a fireman. In Derek's case, I feel it's about his ego, that he wanted to feel needed. Also, one of the best quotes I ever heard is in a Taylor Swift song, on the song Anti-Hero. And she said, I'm trying to remember. Do you see my covert narcissism disguised as altruism? That's how I look at Derek. It's like he's a narcissist, but he tries to cover it up with doing good. Is how I've looked at him, because Derek is about what benefits him. That's why he lied to Ashley about being paralyzed. And I'm not changing on that. Derek's a liar.
Well, he's not here to defend himself, so I guess this is how it's going to stay.
Are you saying that I shouldn't talk about dead people?
About Derek. You know, listen, we dedicated they dedicated
Derek,
8 episodes to his passing, so he was an important person in this community.
Well, first of all, Derek was already dead to me before it became official. So that's number one. Let's make that clear. Second of all, I'm going to have to quote one of my friends, or our friend, our mutual friend. One thing she always says to me, I don't think about intention, I think about impact. How did he impact people? I'm not seeing it. Where is it that everything just stopped because Derek died? If anything, more stuff started happening. Because he's dead.
Ashley's not at work. That stopped.
Yeah, well, she may not be at work permanently if they find out about those pills she stole for Grayson, but that's a whole other story.
Oh my God, not the pills.
But yeah, if Grayson get back with Ashley, okay, fine. If he doesn't, he dodged
Also
the bullet.
fine. Yeah, I have no investment in this relationship.
But
good luck to both of them as well.
Yeah, but okay, Naomi, we know you like to try and do some good in the world. I am so skipping past the rest of this stuff. Let's get to the end of this thing with the non-reveal, with the reveal non-reveal, or the non-reveal reveal. And doing that. I just want to get it. Okay, let's do it right here.
All right. As long as someone's with her. No, that's good you're here. You did the right thing.
Because when the moment comes, a leader has to step forward without fear.
You
no matter what waits on the other side.
Okay, who do we think it is?
I feel like if it was his sister, the reaction would have been even more shocked. It would have, instead of it being like you, I think it would have been like, no, this can't be real, or something like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like you, it's kind of like, for real? And that type of reaction is somebody that he definitely knows that he deals with on a regular, but is very, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say hidden. Like, you know how people don't stand out sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
That if you're looking at a room full of people, there's certain people that just don't really stand out, and there's people who do stand out, and there's people who always stand out. I feel like this might be a person who just never really stands out. Or it could be someone who is very respected, and Joey has rubbed elbows with them once or twice or came across them, but he's never cultivated a relationship with them. And it's like, oh, you. Now, if it's Monica, I'm throwing my laptop out the damn window and my TV.
Well, it's funny because when you were like someone who's very respected and all that, I was like, okay, so the owner of Orgy Jeans. That's all I could think of. Who would he have rubbed elbows with? But we don't really know who has influence. That's the only thing that came to mind.
You know what? I could honestly see that with the storyline, because when they were starting the plasma ring, they didn't have any money to do it, so they gave them sweet potato pies as compensation for the first 2 weeks.
I can't pay my bills with sweet potato pies, but okay. Who else? Like, I've seen Isaiah's name get thrown around, but I think he would be more shocked because it's like,
I don't think that would be shock. That would be anger. If it was Isaiah, he would be pissed.
yeah, or something like, again, he's trying to turn his life around. However, Isaiah was at that wall where Rashad just hung out. So unless it's just a popular spot, he asked him like, what were you doing there? And he gave him a non-answer. People are saying it's Leslie, but there's no way she cannot keep us. No.
That's not Leslie's MO. Leslie doesn't do sophisticated operations.
She doesn't. She's not sophisticated.
Leslie, no, it has to be about her. And a whole operation, that's about a lot of people. No, that's not her stilo.
I thought, again, I really did think it was Doug, and especially how they were teasing it out. But I think he would have just had a heart attack.
Yeah, that part. Because, and if he doesn't, then it's like, oh man, ice runs through your veins for real. Because you held it like a soldier. I'm trying to think of people who we've seen. It would be hilarious if it was Marcel. If it was him. But
it could be Elon maybe too, but
nah, Elon, that isn't Elon. Elon might be dirty, but he's not that dirty. Not like that.
Right. So who have we seen? What if it was what's her face? Samantha?
Vanessa?
No, not Samantha. Can't be Darnell. No, he's too young for all this. Could be his sister.
That would have been interesting. That would have been very interesting.
I'm hoping
it would have been nice if Doug would have appeared to Deanna sooner, before the Impaler storyline started. And then it was it was her imaginary Doug teaching her how to start the business in her mind. And she became the impaler that way. Or where it was actually Doug, but a spirit version of him, if you want to get supernatural with it. And he's sort of like guiding her through certain things to build her own little empire. That way she can go toe to toe with Joey and stuff. Who knows? I'm just throwing things out there.
Right. Like the twist is that we all believe that he's alive, right? Or like we all think that he's alive and just like hiding, right? Not showing who he is, but then the reveal is that he's actually like dead and she's just seeing ghosts or something. She's just seeing his spirit. Yeah, but she's also too young, I think. And then and I think it's been confirmed that she is going to like classes and stuff, like, you know, they're checking up on her and stuff. But I mean, she is out of sight. So
yeah, people can moonlight and do all types of things.
The thing is, I think now more and more, I think it's a woman, just because they keep on saying him, he, who is he, this guy, yada yada. But then also, what did they say? Like, oh, this person is very egotistical. I don't know if Deanna is egotistical like that. I don't like who are these people are egotistical. I don't know, except for maybe Doug.
It would have been funny, but no, because she's locked away. I was gonna say it would have been funny if the impaler was Lynette, but yeah, I don't know. This one, like, there's multiple. I really wanted to be Doug. I wanted to be Doug so bad, or Joey's sister. I wanted to be one of those two. If it's anybody besides them, I don't know, and I'm not sure it would completely make sense. So if it is anyone but them, they need to make sure they have a hell of a storyline ready to back up why this person became the impaler.
I think we're gonna get a lot of flashbacks. If it's someone that we know, right? If it's a character that we know that's not like Joey's sister, I do think we're gonna get a lot of flashbacks. Like if it's Doug, especially, like if it's, you know, Deanna, like we're gonna get the backstory. So I guess that's coming up. That's coming up.
Yeah, hopefully next week. So, yeah, I tell you. Well, this was a good episode that we did. I enjoyed it for the most part. I mean, there was some stuff I could have done without, but I'm looking forward to the event next week to see what's happening. And I read some of the spoilers and I'm like, oh, okay. That, especially one with Leslie. I read one of the spoilers that is supposed to be happening with her. So I'm like, oh, this will be interesting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the coming week of Beyond the Gates. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Do you have anything?
I don't.
Well, Gators, it has been a blast as usual. Thank you so much for all of the love. We've been looking at the comments and responding to the comments as best we can. I finally gave Diana access to the channel today. Mind you, we do YouTube for a living, like for our regular jobs outside of this. And it didn't dawn on me, and I've invited so many people to CMSs and everything else. It didn't dawn on me to invite her to the channel so she could help, you know, look through stuff and look at the analytics and everything else too, until I was having a conversation with ChatGPT. And then I was like, oh, why didn't I think of that at the very beginning? But
you're gonna start seeing ghosts the more you use that chat chibi, whatever that's called. You're gonna start.
Honestly, I'm thinking
talking to yourself like Deanna.
Yeah, I'm thinking about switching to Claude because there, the new CEO of Red Lobster or whatever.
Yeah, vaguely, but yeah.
Yeah, he's 29 years old, which I thought is awesome. I'm like, that is so amazing. But yeah, he was talking about that they've been obviously using AI with some of their implementation of doing things. And the guy asked him, like, hey, what AI do you prefer? And he had said Claude. They did comparisons with certain projects with Claude versus ChatGPT. And yeah, they were like Claude, which also, by the way, OpenAI Claude people, cut the check as well, please and thank you.
I don't endorse this. Yeah, just so everyone knows, I do not.
Diana
I won't
is
be collecting.
anti-AI. Us being on opposite ends of something shocking.
Just so you know, on the right side of history once again.
I can already tell you as an intuitive, AI will be doing this thing. And I'm going to talk about that when I launch my tarot channel, or relaunch my tarot channel, I guess you could say, and doing tarot card readings and stuff like that again. But definitely AI will be, there's too many timelines that AI is in. Is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And it's only going to get more and more advanced, where people are going to be like, oh, wow, this is real. The things that will be happening over the next 50 to 100 years, it's going to blow people's minds. It really, really is. But anyways, that's a whole other subject for a whole other day. Thank you, everyone, for being the amazing listeners and watchers that you have been. It's very much appreciated. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as you've been doing. And if you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, what are you doing? You got to come to the #1 Beyond the Gates fan hangout on the internet, because there is no other podcast like ours. Diana, do you have anything else?
Just that is a tagline right there.
I need to take the audio and cut it and then just put it. There's no other podcast like ours.
Correct.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Until next time.
Bye.